Today's a big day. So we're in downtown Philly. We're making a cash transaction in a parking garage buying Lamborghini parts. But what could go wrong? The smallest issue though is that we don't have any cash. How hard could it be to find some cash? That's funny. Why don't we actually check the ATM? All right, let me guess, there's a fee. Yep, how much? $4. $4 is ridiculous. Does the Reading terminal have a bank? I really only have 15 minutes to find a bank. Ben Franklin. There's a guy who knows where the money is. But apparently there's a PNC bank here somewhere. Woo! Watch the bus. On the real though, I need 750 bucks. And this guy is gonna need a new rectum. I don't think there's transaction fees at PNC, so we just saved $4 on our Lamborghini parts. It's really warm in here. Or maybe 750 bucks is a lot of money. Bye. When I bought my Lamborghini, it came with aftermarket wheels, and then I bought even more aftermarket wheels. So if I want to sell this car, it's going to actually end up selling for a lot more money with the factory wheels. This is the first nice car I've seen in Philly. This is a Vantage S, Aston Martin. Factory wheels. Aside from a few really expensive wheel options, most expensive cars will resale better with factory wheels. Police cruiser, factory wheels. Taxi cab, factory wheels. So what do you think we came here to buy? Thanks, sir. Not just any wheel, factory Lamborghini wheels. You are not gonna believe this. It's not just any Lamborghini wheel either. This wheel right here, this wheel was the wheel that came on my car when it was shipped from the factory in Italy. Not just one wheel either. I bought all 4 of them. I can't believe I found these. This all started when I found the previous owner of my Lamborghini. We're both in a Lamborghini group on Facebook, and I reached out to him with pictures of the car that I repaired. He told me he was coming here for business. I told him I wanted to meet him. That's when he asked me if I wanted the wheels. $28 in parking later, and I had my new wheels. And I guess the 750 is in there too. You might think that's extortion, and that's what I thought. And that's exactly what it was. Hey, check out that paintbrush. Either way, the Lamborghini feels whole again. There's also irony in buying these Lamborghini wheels. In its current state, the Lamborghini is illegal to drive. It took me 3 months to get the title for the Lambo. The title and registration should match this license plate. The title's all good and it's official, but for some reason the registration came with a new license plate. That means the car is not only registered now to 2 license plates, but we need to know which license plate to mount to the car. I'm going to temporarily remove my favorite license plate and just as temporarily mount my new least favorite license plate. Wrong hole. Now the real reason we can't drive this car, it's not inspected. Every car on the road in Pennsylvania has to have an annual inspection, whether it be a Toyota, Volkswagen, or a Bentley, or a rebuilt title Lamborghini, it's all the same. Every Pennsylvania car needs these stickers on the windshield. The windshield on our Lamborghini remains stickerless. No ifs, ands, or buts. This car is illegal to drive. Think we can find somebody to inspect it? I prefer to take the car to Lamborghini to get inspected because that would look really good on the Carfax. Lamborghini Philadelphia didn't have any availability this week, so we're gonna find somebody else. You know your mechanic's thrilled when you bring in your car on a Friday afternoon at lunchtime to get inspected same day. Out of fear that we don't know what they're gonna say, I think we should go in on a full stomach. Very full stomach. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I was gonna grab a salad. I'm just trying to find...
We don't have salad.
What? Have there ever been salads?
Not for years, I believe.
Not for years, darn.
Yeah.
No salads, you believe that? I'm trying to watch my damn cholesterol. Just gonna watch it go up. I think every once in a while you need to remind yourself what immediate regret feels like. Regret feels bad, but tastes good. How about this for immediate resolution? A freaking trampoline park. We could go work that burger off in, I don't know, it takes about 20 years to work one of those burgers off. If we weren't doing really important stuff, I'd say maybe. Check this out, BMW White car. I don't know anything about cars. That one's automatic. As cool as I feel for bringing my mechanic a Lamborghini, it's probably nothing more than an inconvenience. So sorry, Mike, but thank you. Before we even try to lift this sucker, we're gonna plug it in and see if it passes emissions. And that thing just told the computer that we passed. Now the second part of the inspection is to put this up in the air. Where does this go? And look at all the wear parts. Suspension, brakes. I don't actually know what I'm talking about. Wow, I've actually never seen the underside of this thing. It's kind of tempting. We could delete the front drive shaft and differential and make this puppy rear-wheel drive. Check out how clean it is. Jokes aside, I hope it passes. It's a good sign when the lift's going in the down direction. This car doesn't need brakes, suspension, or tires. I think we're good to go. It's a good looking car. Now we just need to pay the man and get some stickers. We got good news and bad news. Good news, we have stickers. Bad news, I don't want to sell it now that it's legal. About $100 later, we're good to go. With 2 out of 3 tasks completed in one day for our Lamborghini, and only one thing left to do, it only makes sense that it's raining. It just seems like every single time we work on our Bentley, it's raining. So it only makes sense that it's raining on the day that we finish it. Yep, we're gonna finish it. I've painted this car now, what, twice? Maybe 3 times? I've lost count. But I can finally say it's time to put the panels on the car. I hate leaving that out in the rain. We just don't have enough space. I've owned this car in its current state for longer than I'd like to admit. Nice. So getting this thing back together, what did I just hit? Oh my gosh, I just drug it across the bush. Getting it back together is a big deal. Don't mind that old fender. Yep, that old fender. Before we can actually snap this thing into place, we have to steal a few components off the old bumper, like the wiring harness and the parking sensors. Getting the old harness out should be as simple as every other step has been on our Bentley project. I'm really only kidding when I say stuff like that, because the challenges in these rebuilds, it's kind of what makes it worth doing. It'd be boring otherwise. I mean, spending 3 hours replacing parts that didn't need to be replaced, that kind of sucked. But the rest of this project really has been enjoyable. This is the new bumper. Try not to scratch it. I mean, if we scratch it, we'll just repaint it for the 4th time. This foam piece is like 90% functional. Where does it go? Here? Yeah. It's the electrical harness. This is the meat and potatoes of this step. This aftermarket bumper has so far been pretty impressive. Hopefully these things snap right in. Like this. Nice. I try and relish the last few steps of these projects because before you know it, they're over. There are really only a few finishing touches before we get this sucker mounted. Not this sucker, I mean this sucker. Actually, if my memory's correct, and my memory is all I have on this project, then the fender actually has to go in first. Grill looks nice. Another fun thing about the Bentley is that every time you get in it, you can only hope that it starts. I'm thinking this might be the last time we pull this car in the garage as an incomplete vehicle. Well, aside from having to straighten it out. I'm having a hard time shutting the car off. There are certain bolts that are kind of hard to get to, so I use the lift whenever I get a chance. What was that? The lift makes working on this car reasonable. It's not great. Oh, but this type of lift, it's better than nothing. Certainly not as cool as the lift where we just were, but it'll do. I mean, it has to. Certainly beats no lift at all. Cowabunga, dude. Just high enough to get the wheels off the ground and give us room to mount our fender. You definitely don't have to, but I always put jack stands under the car. Makes me feel just a little bit better. I don't actually put any weight on them. It's for preventing catastrophic damage. Catastrophic damage to me. Underneath a 5,000-pound car would be a tough way to go. We'll get this wheel off and go get our freshly painted fender. You see how I wussed out on the kick? Without further ado, what's that even mean? It means here's our fender. That's the one downside of reassembly based on memory, is I don't really have a memory of ever doing it. It's not that hard to do. Should start writing stuff down. Without stating the obvious, I'm pretty sure this goes right here. Oh man, I hate this part. Don't scratch anything. Just a couple of bolts, 2 in the front, 5 way in the rear, and 6 up top. We want as many bolts holding this fender on as possible. Remember what happens when it's not secure. These 6 bolts go in hand tight for now, so we can adjust the fender line when we add our front bumper to this equation right now. Almost every part in our Bentley rebuild has been used. I can't remember if this is a new part or a used part. I was thinking this might be our only new part. Yeah, it's a new part. This part helps our bumper line up with our fender. You're not supposed to reassemble with an impact, but remember where we are. Okay, this is a real genuine Bentley part. Notice the packaging. That's what new parts look like. Our first new part. This is the headlight squirter and it's broken. This is the new one. No fluid. And the little clip goes in. All right, how long do we have the car? 2 months, 3 months? Time for the main event, the rear bumper, front bumper. By now, oh gosh, hold on. We're really banking on an uneventful install of our front bumper. Gosh, this feels so bad. Am I scratching anything? Yes, I am. I've learned in my very short career at doing this that this area can sometimes be the hardest part to figure out. Sometimes it just needs a little bit of muscle. Oh God. The bumper is lined up. You can see the gaps look good, and for the first time, we have a black bumper. I'll get some Beluga Bentley Black touch-up paint the heads of these bolts so you can't tell we were ever here. No one will ever know, except for you and me. I bought this car on July 10th for $16,000. And although it's been 2.5 months, getting these wheels mounted one last time allows us to take our first, more official test drive. Kinda hard to believe we're doing this. We're doing it. The majority of the bodywork is completed, and all that's left to do, really, is install the headlight washer covers, replace the haggard Bentley emblems, get a front end alignment, restore the headlights, fix the cup holder lid, figure out where the ashtray cover went, and figure out what these 2 arrow lights mean. Otherwise, the windows go up and down, and from about 20 feet, we have a beautiful running and driving Bentley Continental. Now we can have our coffee.